Hello everyone, welcome to Bel Air Studio and my desk. My name is Kel and I was going to just bring you along today to look at my April junk journal and plans for the May journal. It's going to be a little bit of everything. So happy May. Let's see, where to start? There was one thing. Here it is. So I was going to put this in my May journal, but it hasn't made it in there yet. But it's a calendar from 1974, and I really liked this quote. "The word May is a perfumed word. It is an illuminated initial. It means youth, love, song, and all that is beautiful in life." Longfellow. And as I go into May, I feel hopeful. April was a very full and busy and good month, but I'm excited to celebrate May this year. Normally, I just get through May. I don't know why, but it's a lovely month that I haven't really paused in before. Normally, I'm looking forward to June, which is my birth month, and I've learned to love January, February, March, and April. So we're a third of the way through this year. The first little thing I want to show you is this little mini book that I made yesterday while I was at work. So I didn't bring any paper, and so sometimes when I'm just sitting there waiting to do something, I make things. So this is a Post-it note that I made into a teeny tiny zine. And it says reflect, a third of the way through 2025, and we've had snow, sun, wind, and rain. And then these were kind of just thinking of the next quarter, May, June, July, and August. I will be 60 in June. And that's the back of it. So I'll tuck that in somewhere. Really enjoying that. So let me just tell you what's in this pile here. It's going to be a very random video today. Just going wherever the flow takes me. So this is my April Reader's Digest journal that I changed the cover a little bit on and have added a lot of goodness in here. And I've done some flip throughs of it. I thought what we would do today, this was a little collage I made using Lynn Hasty's great process, which is ground level, repeating image, art. No, I forgot the E, ephemera, and texture. So I love that. When I'm not sure what to do next, I like to use that thing. So this is not filled up all the way. It had 3 signatures. I went back and forth through all the signatures. So I thought after I show you what I'm doing with May, maybe we could spend some time just decorating some of the pages that I haven't done and do a little flip through with that. So we'll put that to the side. Other things that I've been doing in April, well, the main thing was I was working on a play, a musical with Fly North Theatricals, and I was doing the costumes and the props. And so this is my monthly month at a glance journal where I do some glue booking at the glue book party, and then I kind of do a recap of the month and also just some vision board, mood board using ephemera that my friend and I are exchanging ephemera once a month. So I've been putting that in. And this was the glue book party in March, April. So here comes April. I like this quote too. "Some people just make you feel better when you are around them." Unknown. So in April, just some simple collage. So this was the musical that I worked on, and I drew this to remind myself that that was my work for the month. And it turned out really cool. at first our idea was to, it's basically a road trip story, and the family is in a yellow VW bus. And at first, the director had the idea of painting luggage yellow and making that the car, but that morphed into these yellow rolling chairs, which was really a lot of fun. And they're getting great reviews, the chairs themselves, as well as the whole show. But it's been kind of fun that everybody has enjoyed the chairs. They were white beforehand. So yeah, I've been adding some stuff in this little mini journal that I made the other day that I showed you guys some of it. So I just put, this was me at in the downstairs in the theater opening night. So that was fun. And it's coming to a close. There's one more weekend of shows. So if you live in the St. Louis area, I'd love for you to come out and see it. I'll put a link in the description. These are just some random things in here. And I don't think, or did this start April? Okay, well, no, yeah, this was April. This was the Glue Book Party, Pink Full Moon. And then let's see what this quote says. Having fun in daily life, going outside and taking a walk. Simply experience the seasons changing, by Krista Ambeck. And that's a goal of mine, to just, it really expresses what I want in everyday life. And so this is April, and I haven't put anything in it, but I will go back and, like, I had a lot of thrifted costume pieces, so I'll probably go in and glue some of these down in here. And other ephemera. My mom saw these on the ground and said I should take them home and paint them or do something with them, so I did. So yeah, so some of these things will be added in. I'll probably put this little mini book in here, but I'm not going to do that one right now. I'm going to let that be, and I'll come back to that later. So that is the month at a glance, and now we are ready for May and adding some things there. I did mention that I would show you what I got from the antique mall in the midst of all my getting things ready for the play. I did stop at the antique mall, and I got a few things for myself. I don't think I got anything for the play that day, which was kind of fun, but I found these letters. They're from some kind of game, and those will be fun to use. And then there, I probably have it somewhere, but I don't know where it went. There was a pack of fabric, and it had 5 pieces of fabric in it, and it was like only, oh yeah, $3.50. And it was like, oh, a nice little package of fabric. That's how they like said on the label. So if I find that label, I'll put it in my April. But it's got some plaid and some like silky material and some linen type material, and then this pretty purple patterned one. And then I found this little sewing box, which I'm excited about to put some of the project in. And the thing that started me there is they had a bundle of these little vintage, I guess they're little cutting boards or something. And there was 5. One of them I gave to my niece. But anyway, and they were $1, so that's why I had to buy more stuff. But you had to spend at least $10 at the antique mall to use your credit card. So you know how that goes. Also, what I was doing in April, which I didn't do very much of, but I did a few things with, was the Art Memories Challenge. I'll put a link about that. And I was just, it starts with a prompt like Anita, the lighthouse keeper, like to follow her own light. And then you could write your own little story or make a collage. I did both. And I got about 4 of the prompts done. Yeah, as this one I started on, but I didn't really write anything about her. Anyway, so this is still here. Just because April's over doesn't mean I can't add to it. And I have my little supplies over to the side for that. So that is April. I've been taking notes. I keep a little notebook in my purse for writing things down. And I've still been using my planner. So these are the 2 things that I keep in my purse. So if I need to take notes, while I'm at work or thinking about the play. Yeah, so just different little things. It's nice to always have, if you don't have paper, obviously look around and find it. Here's some of my sketches of the costumes for the show. I think it turned out really well. It's good work, good work. I loved it. I do love it. And we got to go back to the show this weekend and finish it out well. So I'm excited about that. All right. And then I have continued to use my planner. And in April, guess what? Little Miss Sunshine. And I loved that the quote, I think I might have read this last month, stay close to the people who feel like sunlight. And that's been totally true. And this is funny. Excuse me. There's this one patron customer at work, and whenever he leaves, he says, "Don't let him use you." I just thought, I had to write that down. What does he mean? I don't think anyone's going to use me. I'm not going to let anybody use me. I want to be used for good things, and I like that. Anyway, that was a little sidebar. And this was just some doodling at work. And yeah. So let's get into May. For May, my intentions right now are to continue to use my Reader's Digest for my junk journaling and keeping and documenting life. And this one, originally the cover just looked like this, and it had some fabric on the, this yellow fabric on it. And for this month, I changed it up and added this green fabric from the Antique Mall and then some felt letters. Let's see. And then this, I just did some collage on the cover. I started out, where did she go? I made, everything's getting messed up over here. Where did she go? I'll come back to it. I had a different image for the cover, and then I didn't really think it was contrasting enough, so I took it off, and then I really like this collage. And also the word wisdom was just, you know, floating around my room, and I thought, ooh, good word to balance out May. My word of the year is balance. I'm still over here looking for that other image that I want you to see. If you wonder what I'm doing, where'd it go? She got under something. Aha, there she is. So this is what the image was. This was from a magazine, and it had flowers and stuff all around it, but I just wasn't showing up on the cover. Now it shows up better, but I like what I have there, and I'll just put her inside here somewhere. So do that. We'll flip through that in a second. So these are the pages from May. This was a tassel that I made, and it was on here. I may put it back. I haven't decided yet, so I took it off for now. And then here's just a quick view of the pages. I basically made an outer sleeve cover thing, which I ripped out of the book. And I had sewed the three signatures in there and then glued it into this cover. So I took all that out and repurposed this for this year and this month. And so this, I did the same thing. I made a little sleeve thing to go around the signatures. These signatures are just tied in, they're not sewn in. So again, I'll show you that in a second, but let's just quickly look through. This is May of last year. And yeah, it's just fun to see some of the things that I was working on. I was working on sketching, taking an image that was from a book or a magazine and then interpreting it, writing some notes, making little tuck spots, organizing. Okay, organizing my, go back to that for a sec. Always organizing my carts and things like that. More writing. So I noticed in this one I did do a little bit more writing, so that was cool. Little calendar card. Again, this was what was this? This was a coloring book page, and I painted it and then added some flowers. Just having fun making little collages, drawings, faces. Memorabilia. And yeah, it's coming apart, but that's okay. And my word last year was play. And then this is the last signature. Again, just stuff. Went on a trip to visit my sister in Kansas. Added stuff. Did some sketches. Some other little sketches that I glued in. Yeah, simple but enjoyable. A card that I got. Chocolate. Stuff from Kansas. And these were little hair bands that I made with my little friend Amelia. And went to Blue Duck for lunch one day with our son. Yeah, so fun documentation, writing things, keeping it together. So I will put this in the little pile with all the other pages from last year. And let's see, then let's look inside and see what pages we have awaiting us in May. So, again, love how the cover ended up turning out with that change. And then this little person I'm just going to put right there. And then I'll show you. So this is the outside cover. It's a piece of paper that I had painted on, like under paper. And then I just glued. This is an image from St. Louis Art Museum. And this is another image from it, from the Art Museum map. And so the first signature has this greeting card in it. And then I made some Franken paper where I just glued different scraps together. Some just scrapbook paper, tracing paper, drawing paper, just old vintage paper, magazine page, book page, a vintage, this is from a children's book, vintage like little letter thing, some coffee dyed paper, and then just some more of those pieces of paper pieced together. And this is just the other side of those papers. I did intentionally add some blank pages to each signature. And then I like this idea of having some vellum there in the Franken paper. My friend Janet told me about that. And then you can see through it. So that's cool. And then this was a book dust cover from that book by Kate Spade. And then just some more. Here's some more of that see-through. Some painty paper, picture image from magazine. And then here's your blank pages again. And then a little piece from a magazine, painty paper. This was a big, huge, like, print, and I cut it down. And this was the other side of this magazine image. More see-through. This is from, I think, a magazine or a Reader's Digest. Or I don't remember now. And, yeah. And I like that some of the painty papers have a blank side as well. This, would lend itself to sketching this onto here. And then this was a children's book page. And some more Reader's Digest that I sewed together. And take that down. Vintage paper, dust cover from a plant book, the blank pages again, some wrapping paper, some more pieced together papers. I know I'm going fast, but I want to just continue to play in my April journal, so I wanted to just show you this, an envelope that I pieced into that, and then this is just the other side of all the pages that we already talked about. So I'm looking forward to adding to this journal. I have some ideas. I will come back about mid-month and show you the progress and what I'm doing. And that is the May Reader's Digest junk journal. Yay. All right. I'll put that over here. So let's go back to April for a few little bits. I have a little basket here of things that I thought I might add to this one. And take you along while I do that. And just kind of maybe share a little bit my thought process of how I put things in here. So, and kind of just a quick review again. I'll flip through some pages while I'm looking for it. So these, I did do some writing in this journal. Wrote a little haiku. Dreaming butterflies in flight flutter briefly, full of content. Cocoon, safe haven, not so impromptu exit, metamorphosis. Inchworm wriggles into its spun darkness. Do you want to emerge? And yeah, so then just some more notes, some little things I tucked in here. So you guys seen most of this one. So I don't know that there's any real blank pages here in the first. So I didn't do anything on these little samplers. They were just little samplers of some watercolor paper. So what could I put on here? I mean, of course I could do some watercolor. Let's do that. Let's do a little watercolor. Let's see. There's some water and some paint. So yeah, we're just going to slow down a little bit here now, and I'm going to have fun. I might not talk that much and just show you what I got going on. There's some paint that got stuck here. And then if I think of something to say while I'm doing this, I will. So let's, this is just some primary colors. And we'll just paint some little, we could paint this tulip. Let's see if we can do that. Use this lid. And yeah, okay. Let's see if we can get this. There we go. Get situated. So I'm going to start with this yellow. There's yellow. Just kind of as the base of the shape. And I'm just doing some loose stuff there. And then we'll just dip some red in here to make that like the parts that are red. Ooh. And then since the red and yellow will make some orange, I think I will also try to just add a little bit of blue in here and see if this yellow and blue will mix on the page. You could mix it, you know, in your palette, but I'm kind of just experimenting here. And then just take some of this off. Bring the yellow back in, change my mind, and get some green off of this palette. And then just, did you hear that? I was making the leaf now. Let's see. I'm just kind of using these two images on the other side as a little reference. And then let's just draw a little blue line like that. Do a little blue for outlines. And then soak up some of that. So that's a new technique that I hadn't really thought of. You can dry your brush off and then lift the paint. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows that. But anyway, I just love that I've finally figured out that that's a cool thing to do, and it's effective. Really. So yeah, so I'm going to just take this out because I can and let it dry. So there's that addition. Here's another blank page. I have this word light. I could just trying to think of some more immediate ways to put these things in. I had a stapler somewhere. Here it is. So let's just staple this word in here. So yeah, when I'm looking at the blank pages, I have this little basket of things that I didn't use this spring, so I can look through that and add some of these things. There's another cool flower thing. I'm just going to use this glue because it's here. It's not the right glue. It doesn't matter. All right. And then the cool thing is that, you know, we've added some stuff that we didn't have before. And this was a jelly print that I made using some ferns. You can kind of see the shadow of them there. And then as I'm doing this, I'm just thinking again kind of that formula of great. Can you do it without adding real, like, you know, texture? Yes. So this is the ground level. This is the ephemera. And the repeating pattern could be, let's see what I have in here that has a repeating, there's a repeating pattern. This is a little repeating pattern. Yep. And then 4. So we got ground level, repeating pattern, ephemera. For art, you could just get a pen. Let's see if this will work on here. And just draw a quick little flower again. And then for texture, I think of words could be texture, crinkling of paper could be texture. I got some nice things here. And just crinkle this up a little bit. And a torn edge could add texture. So just have fun playing with those 5 prompts. Like I said, I will I'll put a link to Lynn's where she goes over that technique. And there we go. Another page filled up a little bit. I like it. Okay, so I'm gonna go past this signature and go to the next one and see what there is in there that we could work on. So, okay, so this one, I have some blank space here and here. I'm just gonna save that for later. This one, I think I would like to just glue down this little piece of wrapping paper, vintage wrapping paper that I had that it was in my pile of things to add and I never added it. So that's there. And then there's some over here you can see that I used as an actual page. I was trying to find the page that has the sample paper. Here it is. So this one is a pastel card, and so again, something real simple. Let's just take a pastel and draw another little flower on here. I see these flowers up here, so you just make like a C and another C, and then just keep going out. And you know, I'm doing this quick just to show you, but you could always come back and add more details. So that, of course, is going to smudge, but it's okay. I'm just going to put this here until I have time to set it. And then let's go to the next one and see what we can do here. We can add a little something or other. Again, you could do some writing here. Here's a piece of deli paper from lunch when I went to lunch at Chicken Salad Chick. So by putting this down here, then I could write about the day that I went to Chicken Salad Chick and how I stopped there for a little break for myself. And okay, and then we got more things. Okay, here's the one that has the watercolor paper on it. So since this is a different watercolor paper, let's paint on this one as well. Let's do some swatching. Let's do some, just to see how it reacts on this paper. So this is fun. Thank you for coming along and watching me do some fun little additions to the journal. And yeah, you don't always have to do an actual image. You can just do some abstract painting. And then again, let me see if I can get this out carefully and let that dry. All right, well, that is really fun. Here, I'll show you the flower. It's pretty much dried over here in there. So you could leave it as is, write around it, add some line work, but that's a nice little thing. So I wasn't really watching the clock, but you know, we spent about 10-15 minutes on just adding some things. Once I get going, I really enjoy it and want to keep going, so I probably will after I turn the camera off and just fill up some more pages in April. I'm really excited about May, and I look forward to coming back and sharing some more ideas with you here at Bel Air Studio. See you soon. Bye.